Lance and Dragonair. You know, we've had Lance and Dragonite before. This seems like a downgrade. Is it though? In this video, we discuss the good sides, the bad sides, and maybe the ugly sides of Lance and his devolved dragon. And we'll see which one outweighs which. So with that said, strap on your seatbelts, sit tight, let's begin this analysis video. Here we go. Yo, 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 this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, yeah, this Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. Well, guys, time for another Sync Pair Scout, or rather, another Sync Pair. This is Lance and Dragonair, and as I said in my intro, why give him a Dragonair when he has other Pokemon? You know, it's the Golden Week in Japan. And Lance, you could have given him, yes, he has Gyarados, but you could have given him shiny Gyarados. Just as a, you know, as a nice ending to the Variety Scouts this month and whatsoever. And it also ties up with Golden Week because Golden Magikarp, you can just incorporate that in and just discuss something about evolving your shiny Magikarp and then blah blah whatsoever. But anyway, guys, in this video we discuss the other good sides and the other bad sides. I will probably not say that anymore. But anyway, guys, hit the thumbs up right now if you haven't and help me out with the YouTube algorithm. You know, the more thumbs ups, the more this video gets spread out, and we're on our way to 10k subs. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're scouting for Lance and Dragonair. Yes, Lance and Dragonite is a lot better than this one, or maybe not. Well, one big difference is that Lance and Dragonite is a striker. This one is a tech sync pair. So they're technically, see what I did there, sus, technically different. And yeah, if you want to know more about him and the other sync pairs, you can check out my May 2023 sync pairs Who to Scout for video, where I discussed each one in a pretty much complete way. But if you just want one copy, you can check out my 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 video, where I discuss each one. Getting one copy, will they make a difference to your gameplay or not? But in this video, we discuss Lance and Dragonair and just focus on Lance and Dragonair. But before anything else, guys, thank you first of all to my awesome members of my channel who have been supporting me all throughout. I'm slowly starting to ship out your gifts, especially for my 1-year and 2-year members. Shadowfill, you're up next. Luca, you're up next. And Alcin, you're up next. But I started with some of you guys, and you'll be able to receive them soon, hopefully soon. Let me know if you've received your gifts. But I want to give away, you know, stuff just to thank you guys for supporting me for quite a while. But thank you everyone here in this list for your generosity. Thank you so much. And thank you also to my gifters who've been supporting me by giving away extra memberships to these people out here. Thank you guys so much for the extra generosity. If you want to become a receiver, you can become a member, or you can become active in the live chat, in the hitting of the thumbs up, in the comment section, in the whatsoever, also in my other non-Pokemon streams, and you'll have a higher chance of receiving a gift membership. But with that said, that's over. Let's quickly go to our discussion, which is this one. So, Lance is, if I'm not mistaken, the number 8. The 8 whatchamacallit, Variety Scout in this game. First 3 are the evolutions, then came Ball Guy, then Lorelei, then Bruno, then Agatha, then Lance. Out of these sync pairs, well, or rather out of the Elite 4 for Kanto, Lance is the only one that you can scout that you do not have to worry about scouting for the wrong sync pair. Because Lance, the normal Lance in Dragonite, is a Pokefair, and you will not be able to scout for the normal Lance in the Variety Scout. So don't worry about scouting for 4-star lands. There's no such thing, at least for the moment. What if you get lands, then you are sure to get this 5-star lands and Dragonair. And as a as a Variety Scout, as usual, this is a limited unit. So if you miss this, goodbye lands until he returns whenever. We have not had a return or rerun of a Variety Scout yet. And if you want to get him, of 2 methods. First is the normal route, 36,600 non-paid gems. And first 3 multi-pulls will give you 1, 2, 3 tech move candy coins. So he's a texting pair. You can get 1 tech move candy per multi-pull for the first 3 multi-pulls. If you have paid gems, you can go for the paid route. It's a lot cheaper. 7,500 paid gems will give you 20 custom power-ups to make him 20 out of 20. You just have to give him champion spirits to make him 6-star EX. And then you will have 1 guaranteed copy after 7,500 paid gems. So if you're lucky, you can get more than 1 copy along the way, but you are guaranteed 1 copy by spending 7,500 paid gems. So if you do not want to get shafted, well, paid gems is the way to go. But paid gems, as the word implies, paid meaning paid. You cannot be free to play because the game will require you to use paid gems to scout for lands. The others are Poke Fairs, except for Agatha. Agatha and lands are the Variety Scouts. Poke Fairs, scout for them, multi-pulls, no presents, 10% chance of scouting a random 5-star, 2% chance of scouting for the featured unit. Meanwhile, Lance and Agatha, 7% chance of scouting a random 5-star sing pair, 2% chance of getting them, and 3 out of 5 grid. So the maximum that you want, in order to unlock their full potential is 3 copies, and 4 out and 5 copies just make them a little bit more powerful. Not really that much of a difference. But for the rest, for the Poke Fairs you see in the 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th, those Sygna suits require 5 copies in order to unlock their full potential. And that's what makes them a little bit more expensive. A lot more expensive if you want the full potential. If you do not have candies in order to do so. So, if you want to know how many gems we can get, you can check out my how many gems can we get video, and you will know that we only have enough to scout for 1 if you get shafted. If you're lucky, then go ahead, scout for more, but if you get shafted, you only have around enough for 1. Or maybe less than 1. But good luck, guys. Good luck! So, now we go to the stats. And as you can see over here, Lance has the highest. Yes, the highest HP stat out of the bunch, which is not exactly that high because his HP stat is only 616, which is just 5 HP higher than the second highest. He has pretty much average stats across the board aside from that. Tech level defense, tech level special defense. Special attack pretty low, considering he has a very strong special attack, 297. And speed stat 315, pretty much average for what he does. In terms of multipliers, as you can see over here, Lance has a lot of multipliers that have to do with paralysis. So you have paralysis synergy 1, you have paralysis synergy 3. If the opponent is paralyzed, he has thunder wave in order to paralyze the opponent to make his attacks stronger. He also has something that can raise his special moves up next effect that gives you a plus 40% damage for his normal attack, which is Hyper Beam at 3 out of 5. And his passive skill allows you to give a dragon type negative rebuff or down rebuff for the opponent, which we will discuss later. Also, at 3 out of 5, for the Sync move, you got Brain Power. The higher your special attack stat is, the stronger your Sync move is gonna be. Static Shock 5, if the opponent is paralyzed, your Sync move is gonna be stronger. Built in, the opponent paralyzed. And then the Dragon type negative rebuff is also gonna help with this one. And if you translate those into numbers, well, this is what it looks like. 2,332,395 with a Sync move of damage of 11,656,710. And I can say right now, if we want to compare the damage, guys, Lance and Dragonair has Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam is a 4 move gauge attack. A 4 move gauge attack dealing 2,332,395 versus Sygna Suit House 1 move gauge B Electro Web, which can deal, if there's only one opponent left, 5,456,808. It's so far 1 move gauge versus 4 move gauge. And I think this is also already including the 1 special moves up next effect. I think I already included that in. So not exactly that impressive for Lance as I can see now. No Dragon Zone, no super effective up next because Lance cannot bring those to himself. In terms of Sync move, well, it's pretty okay with 11 million, but still, I'm more concerned about the Hyper Beam damage. Because how, for example, how's Fairy type Dazzling Gleam can deal 2,143,000. Sygna Suit Alana's, I think it's Draining Kiss, I forgot. 2,282,000 that hits one opponent. Psychic type attack is B Psychic. Whatever. I think this is an AoE attack for the Psychic move. But it's 4 million something and it's only 2 move gauge if there's Psychic Terrain. Lance, 4 move gauges, only that amount of damage, not exactly that impressive. So that's one of the not so good things about this Lance. If you want, the other Lance might be stronger, instantly max out your attack stat, your special attack stat, but this Lance is just a little bit low in damage. But let's take a look at their kit right now, which, if you see this background image, congratulations, you've successfully scouted for Lance and Dragonair. Again, as I said, he has 2 different types of attacks. One Thunder Wave, one Hyper Beam. Thunder Wave cannot deal damage, but it leaves the opponent paralyzed. Hyper Beam, one opponent, no additional effect, just hit it with strong Dragon type damage. You also have Dire Hit All Plus, which can give everyone critical hit rate increase +2. You can use this twice. Heart of Justice reduces your Sync move countdown -1, raises your special attack +4, and raises everyone's speed stat +2, raises your accuracy +1. Hyper Beam, 90% accuracy. By raising your accuracy +1, you basically guarantee that your Hyper Beam is gonna hit the enemy unless the opponent has raised its evasiveness stat. But you also take in 20% recoil damage. I guess the good thing about this one is the Sync move countdown reduction -1. And not only does he buff up himself, but he also buffs up the entire team. Speed stat +2, accuracy +1. I think that's a good thing. But the recoil damage is not exactly that great. And his Sync move again powers up the Sync move if the opponent is paralyzed. Passive skills, Dragon Shift. Your Hyper Beam is normally a normal attack, became a Dragon type attack. Shock Hit freebie if the opponent is paralyzed. Okay, this is a good thing. If the opponent is paralyzed and you attack it using Hyper Beam, you have a 50% chance of giving yourself a free move next, so that your next Hyper Beam is gonna be free. That's better. So, earlier I was mentioning about the 1 move gauge How and 2 move gauge Alana. This one, either 4 move gauge or 0 move gauge? RNG. RNG, RNG, RNG. I prefer consistent 1 move gauge than RNG. But still, Afflict Dragon type rebuff down. Lowers the opponent's Dragon type rebuff if you use Thunder Wave against the opponent. Now, Thunder Wave at 3 out of 5, or was it 2 out of 5, has Go Viral. And you can paralyze all opponents. I'm not sure if Afflict Dragon type rebuff will hit all opponents in that sense. But let's just assume right now that it won't. But it might. And if it does, you'll see that in my feature or my showcase video. But for now, for this video, I will assume that you can only give one opponent one Dragon type rebuff. So, negative Dragon rebuff means that you will be able to hit the opponent stronger with Dragon type moves, not just for Lance and Dragonair, but maybe also for Lance and Dragonite if you decide to pair him up. Maybe for Sygna Sygna if you decide to use Sygna Sygna. Maybe for Lucas if you decide to use Lucas. And many other Dragon types in your team will benefit from the Dragon type negative rebuff if you bring Lance into your team and defeat the opponents. You know, we also have a lot of other Dragon types that have to do with paralyzing the opponent. One of them is Sygna Cynthia. Sygna Cynthia also has Static Shock, also has, I think also has the Paralysis Synergy. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she has Static Shock. So, bringing Sygna Cynthia along with this one might be a good thing because Sygna Cynthia's Paralysis is not 100%, but Thunder Wave's Paralysis is 100%. The opponent will be paralyzed. Now, for the Sync move or Sync Grid, 1 out of 5, Light and Quick Cure, pretty average. 2 out of 5 as Atmospheric Acceleration. If there's a weather condition, you will have your Speed Up move gauge, which he cannot bring in weather conditions on his own. First Aid 4, recover a little bit of HP when it's low. Heart of Justice MP Refresh 2 for the Special Attack buff, for the Speed buff for everyone, for the accuracy buff for everyone, for the Sing move countdown -1 for your team. Hyper Beam move gauge refresh 2, Paralysis Synergy 1 is at 2 out of 5. 3 out of 5, this is what we're talking about. Brain Gain 2. If you use a move, this includes Thunder Wave or Hyper Beam, you have a 30% chance of giving yourself a special moves up next effect. You can stack this to +10, and +10 will give you a 400% increase in damage. Every stack will give you 40% increase in damage for Hyper Beam. If you're able to stack it until +10, your Hyper Beam will become very strong. Brain Power, the higher your special attack is, the stronger your Sing move is. Heart of Justice ramp up to basically raises your special attack stat +2, so that when you use Heart of Justice, maximum special attack, everyone's speed +2, everyone's accuracy +1, -1, Sing move countdown, and 20% recall damage. Hyper Beam move gauge refresh 4, 50% chance of bringing back 1 MP. Paralysis Synergy 3 if the opponent is paralyzed. Quick Tempo at the start of the battle speeds up the move gauge. Static Shock 5 if the opponent is paralyzed. And here we go, Thunder Wave Go Viral 4. If you hit the opponent with Thunder Wave, there's a 50% chance of paralyzing everyone instead of just one opponent. And that's the Sing Grid. Now, let's discuss if we can give this to him. Here is a Hyper Beam grid. We got all the center here. We got Paralysis Synergy 1, Paralysis Synergy 3. We got Brain Gain 2 to give ourselves a special moves up next effect. We got Hyper Beam Accuracy +10 just in case the opponent is irritating and loves to raise its evasiveness. Again, you just use your trainer move, no problem. Hyper Beam's accuracy will be 100 already, but just to be sure, we got this. And then 2 move gauge refreshes for Hyper Beam just in case, you know, we run into move gauge issues, just in case the RNG does not work in our favor, maybe these will work in our favor. And the second tile or second option I have for the grid is a Static Shock. It's a Sync Nuke grid. So we got Static Shock 5 Natural Remedy just because I needed to pass through that. We got a Sync Move Power plus 25. We got Brain Power over here. We got Sync Move Power plus 25. This is your option if you want to get MP Refresh for his trainer move. That is a 40% recoil damage, by the way, if you got this. Or you just want to raise it once for the 20% recoil damage. You don't care about raising everyone's speed and accuracy anymore. You can just go for this one. And that is... oh, those are my two grid options for lands. So, that is all lands is mostly nothing that crazy. The only crazy thing about him, crazy if you call it crazy, is the Dragon type rebuff. Because we don't have a lot of Dragon type rebuffs. If I'm not mistaken, the only other sync pair that can give a Dragon type rebuff right now is, correct me if I'm wrong, is Cosplay Steven. Is there another one? I'm not too sure. I don't think the other lands can give Dragon type rebuff. I think it's only Cosplay Steven. I think. For his rebuff reducing hit weakness thing, just use tackle on the opponent and then the opponent will have a rebuff of whatever type it's weak to. So, it's weak. It has to be weak to Dragon. So this one gives the opponent a Dragon type rebuff. Doesn't care about the opponent's weakness at all. So that's the only thing that's very much interesting about this one. As a variety sync pair, he does not get different colors if you decide to 6-star EX him. He gets a different pose though. And very similar to the other Steven, he also has Hyper Beam. This is paired up with a Dragonair instead of a Dragonite. This only hits one opponent instead of all opponents if you use the sync move. And the other Dragonite is very strong, and the other Lance is very strong in terms of his upgraded kit at 5 out of 5. Insanely strong. This one, not that much. But what do you think, guys? Do the good things about him, and I mean Dragon type rebuff and 100% paralysis, and maybe the free move next when the opponent's paralyzed, you attack the opponent, is worth it versus the sus variety scout, versus the pairing up with Dragonair instead of some other Pokemon, versus him being a limited unit, being whatsoever. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you gonna scout him or are you gonna skip him? He comes out later if you're watching this as a premiere. Good luck. Wish you the best of luck. This is a tech sync pair. He's the only tech sync. No, not really. He and How are the only tech sync pairs of this update. So he's a tech sync pair. If you're gonna scout, good luck. Let me know if you're scouting. But with that said, that is the end of this fourth sync pair. We got two more, and the sad thing is, the scary thing is, the other two sync pairs, or rather at least Sygna Suit Acerola, is coming the same week as Lance. You don't exactly have a lot of time to recover your gems. It comes out 3 days after Lance. Good luck. Good luck is all I can say. Another, the good and bad sides of these two videos coming soon. I'll be trying my best to work on those. But, you know, just scout for your faves as usual instead of the meta. Because it's always changing. And yeah, that's it. I don't exactly have a lot to say about this one. I came from the beach. My face is burning. My arms are burning. It sunburn hurts. So, I'm ending here. Thank you. Again, hit the thumbs up if you haven't. Help me out with the YouTube algorithm. We're almost at 10k subs now. Thank you guys so much. Thank you again to the awesome gifters of my channel. Thank you for your extra generosity. Thank you to the awesome members of my channel as well. Shadowphil, Alcin, Roy, Luca, Jeremy for 2 years or for more than 2 years. Sasarian, Iwis for more than 1 year. Marokman for Ultra Ball. Aurora Espion and Yuki for Great Ball. Shido for Premier Ball. Tatsuya Gold, Kundan, Pokefriendo, Edward for Pokeball tier. Thank you guys so much for your support. Join them by clicking on the join button down below. With that said, this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Rawr.